Good afternoon, Danny.
Good afternoon.
So, what day is it today?
Isolation of Danny, day 26.
That's correct. It's Isolation of Danny, day
26.
That's correct. And today we're doing something completely different.
What's that?
Well, I'm going to do a review on the Chevy Cruze.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it should be all right. I just want everyone to know that has ever thought of buying one or used one or whatever, what the Chevy Cruze has been like for me for 3 years.
How's it been?
Well, pay attention and watch the video and you'll find out.
Okay.
And then after, we'll come back here and we'll sum it up.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Hi there, it's Bruce again. I'm going to talk to you today about my 2016 Chevy Cruze and what it's been like to own it for 3 years. Yeah, I can't believe it's been 3 years already. And I thought I'd do a little video now because my bumper-to-bumper warranty is up in about 12 days. So I just want to go over what it's been like to own the Cruze. I've seen many reviews on the internet about how people absolutely hate them and actually love them. So I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I did work for General Motors for a while selling cars. I sold a lot of the Cruzes, but never the second generation, just the first generation. And I had absolutely no issues with selling them at all. And they were just been a fantastic car. I also sold a lot of rentals that came into our lot. They were just an incredible deal. They were a year old or 6 months old. They had about anywhere from 16, I think the lowest one was 11,000 to 21, 22,000. The range was right there. And we were selling them like $28,000 Cruzes, loaded up pretty well, LTZs or whatever, for $11,000, $12,000, $13,000, made it very affordable. So I mean, that's why I ended up with one, because I really enjoyed them. And the second generation is so much nicer looking, and it goes up against the Honda Civics and the Hyundais and the Elantras, and I think this is a far superior car. Anyway, it's not a base car. This one is the premier model that comes with all kinds of extras. I'm still finding extras on it. So let's go over a few of those and I'll tell you what it's been like and any issues I've had over the last 3 years. So let's do it. Now, over the last 3 years, I only had one thing that really happened to me. It was after I only had the car a couple of weeks. I was driving into town. I live in Brentwood Bay, British Columbia on Vancouver Island. I was driving into Victoria and the check engine light came on. So I thought right away, let's go get that checked out. So I booked an appointment and went in, and happened to be a sensor was out. One of the CO2 sensors was out. Not a big deal. They canceled the code. Light never came back on. A week later I went in and they gave me a new sensor. There were a couple recalls on the car. Basically, most of mine were done before I picked it up. This is a 2016 that I bought in 2017. It was on the lot for 384 days before it sold. One reason was it is a loaded up car. This is the Premier with all the different packages. It's got the RS package. It's got convenience package. It's got the sunroof. It's got automatic climate control. It's also got GPS system in it that works on voice, or you can program it in. Of course, it's leather. It's been the Premier. All kinds of options. Even got a heated steering wheel. When I first started selling cars with General Motors, you could only get a heated steering wheel like in an Escalade or a couple of upper end Cadillac sedans. This has got that. It's got lane departure warning. It's got crash warning. It's got the lane departure warning. It works really well. I thought, what a dumb looking thing that is, but it's great. If you doze off a little bit, or if you lose track of what's going on, or you're just looking at something out the window for a little bit too long and it comes up to the line, it'll just steer you right back into the middle of the line. Some people think that that's kind of ridiculous, but I'm telling you, well, after it saves you a couple times, keeps you from crossing a lane or anything like that, it becomes very handy. It also has one of my favorite options. It's got the automatic headlight control for up and down, where I thought, I never believed it would work. It absolutely works phenomenal. At nighttime when you're driving, your high beams, low beams work themselves. We live in the country, So we're on dark roads quite often, and you can go for 35, 40 seconds, couple minutes without seeing another vehicle. And a guy comes around the corner, or you come up behind some taillights, it drops it faster than I would do it manually. It's just absolutely phenomenal how well that works. It's got power seats in the position in the driver's position. It doesn't on the passenger side, but it definitely has it on the driver's side. The only thing I wish this thing did have was, it's not so bad because I'm driving it all the time. It would be nice if it had memory seats, because this seat you can change in so many different ways that it takes a little while if someone else has been driving it to get it back to where you want to be. Oh, what else? Oh, I had the other one of my recalls that I had on it was for the battery box. Apparently the battery box in the trunk, it's back there to keep the weight better. Someone had one fill up with water and short out or something like that. So what they did was they put a drain hole in it. So apparently, if you leave your trunk open in a downpour for a few hours, there's a chance that it would fill up and short it out. Never happened to me, but it's done. Once again, no charge. Let's have another look around the car. I'll show you. The trunk is huge in this thing too. This is the second generation. And the first generation was a little bit smaller. This is a bigger car. It's a few inches longer and a little wider and lower. It sits a little bit lower. The legroom in the back, I'll show you in a few minutes, is phenomenal. I mean, it's the best in its class for back seat legroom. It's great for kids. Like, they can sit in the seat and they won't have to kick the back of your seat. They can't reach. It's great that way. And the most surprising thing about it is this is a bigger car, and it's 250 pounds less than the Generation 1. So that shows you that they've lightened it up a little bit and using lighter materials and made it very, very fuel efficient. The best I ever did on this was from Sacramento to the Grapevine in California. And I got 51 miles to the Imperial gallon. That's the Canadian gallon. And that works out about 44 on the U.S. gallon. Well, U.S. gallon's 4 liters. Imperial gallon's 4.6 liters per gallon. So that makes a little bit of difference. And I'm always get in the 30s, even around town. It's always sits about 6.7 liters per 100, so like 36 miles to the gallon Imperial. So I'm very, very happy with the fuel economy. And that's also a turbocharged motor that runs on regular fuel. You don't have to put premium in this car. Actually, they say don't do it. The regular works just absolutely just fine. All right, I'll show you that back seat. Oh, we got kids playing at the field now. All right, now this is the Premier model. It's got the leather seats and everything. It's got a really good fold down armrest in the middle, and you've got all kinds of room back here. You've even got heated seats in the back, and also there's a converter, so you got 110 volts down there too, so you can plug in a computer or whatever, and also use your proper charger on your cell phone. You don't have to do it through the USB, which they've got. And it's a very attractive interior in the car. I'll show you a bit more of that in a few minutes. Very large back seat. And we've got the trunk release under here, keypad up here. You can see I've got my grocery bags and that in there. Very large. Plus it's a 60-40 split on the seat, so you can put, if you got some long, you can even put skis in here if you want. Works really, really well. Being the RS model, you've got some more body kit on it that makes it look a little bit more streamlined. And you got a spoiler on the back and fog lights and everything like that. And when I drove over it, I'll drive over it slowly, and you can see the bar goes across the back. That's part of the suspension system that keeps this car absolutely flat, no matter how hard you put it through a corner. You got the sunroof here, OnStar system. I'll do OnStar in a different video, because a lot of people want to know, even though I've sold these cars and all that, if OnStar is worth it. I don't want to go into that right now because it takes a little bit longer, but I'll do a separate video if anyone's interested in that. And we've got the controls here for all your automatic air conditioning, push button start, which is really nice with the keyless entry, and all your steering wheel controls. Back of the steering wheel, you've got your volume controls for your radio, or you can do it off the radio. And on the other side, you can toggle through your channels, so you don't have to take your hands off the steering wheel to change your radio stations or adjust the volume. Another great feature in this car is the blind side warning, and that works really, really well. You can tell that lights up if there's someone in your blind zone. Makes it very safe. This one's got also the backup assist on it, so you don't back into anything. And you've got your camera up there, and as you can see, you've got your backup assist ports here, and it's also got side in the sides also, so if you're pulling out of a parking spot and someone's coming down the lane, you get a signal on your GPS system which side and what it is, if it's a car or a person that's coming down. Very handy. It's almost time for lunch, so we'll push the button. Air conditioning's on, it'll level off, and we'll take her home. Oh, it's a very, very smooth driving car. Like I was saying, I've driven it down to California a couple times, set the cruise control at 80 miles an hour or 78 miles an hour. You stay under, in California, if you stay under 80 miles an hour, they basically leave you alone. The 1.4 liter turbo gives you all kinds of power, 0 to 60. And some people say 8 seconds, some reports say 7.7, but it is fairly quick. I know back in the 70s, back when they had all the high-performance supercars like 440 Coronets and Superbirds and 454 Chevelles and all that, if you were trying to get up to 60 miles an hour in under 6 seconds or around 6 seconds, you had a very, very fast car. So 7 seconds and can give you up to 51 miles to the gallon. I'll give up the extra second and a half to 60 any day. Here comes another Cruze the other way. Interesting color. I believe it's one of the hatchback ones. Oh, yes it is. So it's just going by us now. So that's about it. It's got all kinds of zip. Keep it between, say, 25 and 4,500 RPM. The turbo pulls really, really hard. Above that, it starts to fade away a little bit, so you get your best performance if you're driving it that way. To do it that way. It's also got auto start on the auto stop on it, and basically what that means, you come up to a stop, if you're stuck in traffic for a little while, it shuts the car off at the when it doesn't call for air conditioning or extra power for lighting or whatever. It'll shut your car right off. And it's a little weird to get used to it. Once you're used to it, it's fine. You don't even notice it anymore. Mine isn't shutting off now because I've got the air conditioning on, because it's 21 degrees, which is Celsius, which is just over 70 in Fahrenheit, or about 70 in Fahrenheit. So since I've been sitting in the sun, I just started up. The air conditioning's running. It's got the auto air on it that runs the fan and everything, keeps it at the right temperature all the time. Just set it and forget it. And that can also work off your auto start. The car has auto start too, and you can set that so the air conditioning, everything comes on when you auto start the car, so you can come out to a cool car. Or up here in Canada, you can set it up so when you come out in the winter time, your seats are warm. Your auto start can also, you go into your settings, you can put your seats on so it'll have your seats nice and warm again. Doesn't turn the steering wheel heater on though, but that have to do manually, but that's fine. You don't have to leave it on very long. So I guess that's about it. There's so many things I could go over on the Cruze, but I just want to let everybody know that after 3 years of driving, it's the best car I've ever owned, and I've had all kinds. You ask anyone that knows me, I've lost track. I cannot figure out how many cars I've had, from Cadillacs to Buick Estate wagons. This is still the nicest highway car I've ever owned. I've had 2 Cadillacs and 1 Buick Estate wagon, and I think the only Ford I owned was a Ford Ranger pickup that was all right. And I also had a Ford Thunderbird with the 460 in it for a while, and this still a lot better gas mileage. Yeah, so if you want a nice, roomy, economy car, and you can load it up as much as you want, or you can buy one, base one was like around $16,500. You still got your air and your power windows in the Generation 2, which is basically all you need, or you can load it right up. This car was $31,000. I didn't pay that because I'm smart. I bought 2016. I've been sitting on a lot for 384 days. So I got a real deal on it. And I'm into it for basically what you pay for a LT car. So that way it's been great. I'm not worried about my warranty running out because I still have 2 years on my drivetrain, which is great. But yeah, it's been a fantastic car, and just like that, we're home. So I'll go up and see Danny and sign off on the video and get this edited up, and hopefully enjoy it. It's been fun bringing it to you. I love cars. All right, well, that's it for me from out here in the driveway. Shut her off. Push button's great. And you can still run everything until you open the door, too. You can still open your windows and everything like that. So very, very convenient. GPS is still up and running and everything else. So, all right, bye for now. Well, that was a long one, wasn't it?
It sure was.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I want to drive.
We can go for a drive this afternoon if you want.
Oh, can we?
Yeah. So that'll be it for today.
That's it.
Yep, that'll be it. So what are we going to do?
I'm going to stay calm, stay safe, and be kind.
That's right, Danny. Nothing better than that.
That's true.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, which one of you haven't subscribed yet? It doesn't cost anything. And ring the bell.